In which capacity do you deal with the United States of America? These two laws were made. We have two capacities, right? You could be a citizen, which is a slave, because if you're a citizen to a corporation, that makes you a slave, right? Or you could be a consumer. And these laws are the consumer laws. These are the laws that protect us as the consumer. So if we doing business, right, our birth certificates are our consumer number. If we doing business from the day we're born, they forcing us to do business with them. We have laws that back us that Congress made. These two laws are very important in 1970, 1977. The Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, right? Let me just read you real quick. I don't know. Let me try to share my screen. See if I could. Can I? All right, look. This is from the Fair Debt. Can y'all see this?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. This is from the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, 15 USC 1692. Listen to what it says, right? A, abusive practices. There is abundant evidence. Abundant evidence. That means that there was numerous investigations, right? See how you break the law down. You got to understand what they're saying. There is abundant evidence of the use of abusive, deceptive, and unfair debt collection practices by many debt collectors. Abusive debt collection practices contribute to the number of personal bankruptcies, to marital instabilities, to the loss of jobs, to invasions of individual privacy, right? So as a consumer, when I say the word consumer, let me read you the definition in the FDCRA of consumer. The term consumer means any natural person obligated or allegedly obligated to pay any debt. Now, do you guys understand that? Do you understand that that law right there? Because that's the definition of a consumer, which we are. We forced to do business with the United States of America Federal Corporation from birth, right? So from birth, we're consumers. So therefore, we have the power because these laws were set in place for us. So again, I ask you, in what capacity do you deal with them? Are you a citizen of a corporation? United States is not a country. The United States was made as a business. So we forced to do business with them. If we're consumers, then listen to the rights we have. This whole section is going to break down our rights as a consumer, right? So let me go to 15 USC 1692 C 6, section 6C, congressional findings and declaration of purpose. This is kind of long, but I'm gonna just read the top and I'm gonna read the bottom so you know what they're talking about here, right? The debt collector means any person who uses any instrumentality. You see, it says means any person, right? Who uses any instrumentality or of interstate commerce or the mails in any business to principal pursuit of which is the collection of any debts, right? So I'll go down here to the bottom. Now, this word right here is very interesting. Security interest, right? That's very interesting how Congress used this word in this law. And the bottom it says such term also includes any person who use any instrumentality of interstate commerce or the mails in any business to the principal purpose of which is to enforcement or security interest. The term does not include any officer or employee of a creditor while in the name of the creditor collecting debts for such creditor. So it says any officer or employee of a creditor. So let's think about that, right? If anybody collecting a debt is a debt collector, right? If you get a ticket, right? Say you parked somewhere legally, they came around, gave you a parking ticket, right? Is that not trying to collect the debt from you? Are they not trying to collect the debt? Motor vehicles, right? You got to pay them every year. You got to pay them fees. License. You got to renew your license. You got to do all of this, right? Oh, get to real quick. Let me get to the definition of a credit card too, because I believe it says it in here. Hold on. They say that in the law states that the definition of a credit card is any card, plate, book, instrument used to collect the debt. So anything you have, your driver's license, a credit card, right? Your license plates to your car is a credit card, right? Your passport is a credit card. Because when you move in the capacity of a consumer, these laws protect you. But when you're in the capacity of a citizen, then you're surrendering your rights as a consumer and you let them dictate everything about you, what you got to pay, when you got to pay it, if it's late, all of that, right? So let's go down to B of 15 USC 1692, section 6C, right? Let's go down to B. Any person while acting as a debt collector for another person whom of are related by common ownership or affiliated by corporate control, if the person acting as a debt collector does so only for persons to whom is so related or afflicted, and if the principal business of such person is not the collection of a debt. Man, this is deep because the way Congress is putting these words together, y'all don't understand how they really blessing us in this law. Well, it's really not, this law was really even not meant, you know that. They put this there so that they could get through all the loopholes and hope that we'll never find out. But like I said, this is the age of the Aquarius, the information age. And everything coming to light. All right, let's go down to C. C says, any officer or employee of the United States or any state, to the extent that collecting or attempting to collect any debt is in the performance of the official duties. What does that mean? Is the IRS a debt collector? Huh? Is
There are.
anybody you deal with really who tries to tell you got to pay them is a debt collector. Anybody, right? This is what the law says. You could look it up, everybody, write it down. 15 USC 1692, section 6C. And you got the subsection C, you got D, F. F even states, look at this one, right? A debt which was not in default at the time excuse me, a debt in which was not at fault at the time it was obtained by such person. So did y'all know that your car note is illegal, right? When you go apply for that car, let me read you the law. Hold on. I got it written down right here. Matter of fact. When you go apply for your car, it's already paid for. The United States, right? They don't tell you this, but you have millions of dollars connected to your social security number that they trade on every day between different countries, right? So
hello.
Can you mute your screen, please, sir? Whoever that is.
Why? Oh shit.
Thank you.
So-called social security number.
Huh?
You said so-called social security number.
Yeah, so-called social security number. In all actuality, is really a consumer identification number. If you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty, they label it a social security number, but what are you using it for? You're using it to do business, correct? They forcing you to do business with them. Like
Right.
these laws are very, very, very particular to the point. Congress exactly what they was doing when they set these laws up, and they made it so that we as a people wouldn't understand it. They put it in funny languages, But once you know how to put them in layman's terms and depict exactly what they're saying, you could be unstoppable because everything they do, let's get to the violation part of it, right? Everything they do is illegal if you really want to think about it. And now we are due remedies. We are due monetary damages for them violating these laws that Congress put up. And I'm done leaving money on the table. If y'all know me, I've been doing credit for a couple years now, and I didn't really understand that moving in the capacity of a citizen, how hard it was to get, a lot of taken off of people's credit because they don't respect you when you're moving as a citizen. You don't get respected, right? When you move in the capacity of a consumer, you have all of the rights. You have all of the rights. Let me just read you some of the violations. This is right here. Let me get my. This right here is if y'all can see, this is an affidavit of fact, right? This is what we send in to the credit bureaus now, my money magnet family. This is what we send into the credit bureaus to get anything deleted, right? All right, so let me tell y'all some of the violations. I'm gonna read the letter, how it goes. Before I was my social security number and my date of birth, I changed the verbiage. Now it's consumer identification number and the date established. Remember that. The verbiage is a lot when you're doing this, right? All right, so listen to this. As the original creditor, I, Aaron Jones, a consumer in business with the federal corporation, the United States of America, demands validation of the alleged debt. I have recorded multiple violations of the law associated with your company. This affidavit of fact will clearly find that the law requires damages of $1,000 per violation. I will be attaching an invoice with where these funds can be allocated. I also demand you to send me the title of the property. This is an affidavit I'm doing for one of my cars. I'm putting all of them in actually to get my title back because they did business misleadingly and they didn't tell me that my car was already paid for when I went to get it from my trust fund on my attached to my consumer identification number, right? So this is what we did. I put this together. I asked for the title as well. I said, security interest secure all obligations. Remember that word, security interest. Security interest is the fact that they already taking the money out of our accounts and then charging us back. So if you say security interest, if you look at the bottom of your car, the contract that you got your car from, what the company you got your car from, look at the bottom of the contract, it'll say that. It'll say security interest secures all obligations. So that means everything that we buy is already paid for. Everything that we all, listen to this, everything that we already buy, that we go to buy is already paid for. Okay, so that means anybody that's trying to collect any type of money from us is a debt collector if we already paid these niggas, right? So boom, let me finish with the violations, right? I want you to prove that this is my debt. I have received phone calls, letters, harassment, identity theft, and multiple other violations that I can prove in the court of law. All correspondence will be used as exhibits in a federal law if these demands are not met. Now, mind you, you could send anybody, any debt collector, send them a affidavit of fact and an invoice. Now, if they don't respond to your affidavit or invoice, then we go ahead and we take it to the next level and we file a federal lawsuit against them. The FDRC, the FDCPA is a federal offense, and also the FCRA is a federal offense. So therefore, we go to the highest level on them. All right. Now listen, violations and damages. This is in the affidavit of fact right here, right? I'm gonna read y'all 15 USC 1692K. Write that down. That's civil liability. Amount of damages. It says, except as otherwise provided by the collector who fails to comply with any provision of this subchapter with respect to any person is liable to such person in any amount equal to the sum of, now listen to what they say, right? Is equal to any amount of to the sum of any actual damage sustained by such person as a result of failure. So from them violating, they have to pay any damage that we as the consumers say they violated, right? So, like for instance, boom.
Excuse me, MV, can you mute your?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so listen, right? This is how we get them, right? So where was I? All right, let's go down to any actual damage sustained by such person as a result of failure. All right, this is just telling them that they're liable for when they mess up. And then A says, in case of any action by any individual, such additional damages as the court may allow, but not exceeding $1,000. So each violation, $1,000, right? Let's start with the first one. This is the first violation right here, if y'all can see it, right? It says communication in connection with debt collection. That's 15 USC 1692 section CA, right? Communication in connection with debt collection, right? Now listen what the law says, right? Without the prior consent of the consumer, which is us, given directly to the debt collector or the express permission of a court or competent jurisdiction, a debt collector may not communicate with a consumer in connection with the collection of any debt. Damages, $1,000. Now this is in the law. This is what these crackers put together for us to prosper, right? Now we use this. Oh, you call my phone? You trying to get in contact with me saying that I owe you bread when I don't owe you bread, when it's already paid for? Guess what? I'm suing you now. I'm sending you an affidavit and an invoice. This is what the invoice look like right here. I put this together. This is going out to all four of my auto loan policies. I'm asking for the title of my vehicles and that they pay me $7,000 in damages each company, right? Because that's how much their violations amounted to. All right, so let's go to the next violation. Write this down. All of these, matter of fact, all of these are the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So all of these laws that I'm reading, y'all can find them in the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Let's go to 15 USC 1692D, harassment or abuse, right? Hold on, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. I need some amino acid. All right, let's go down to 15 USC 1692D, harassment or abuse. A debt collector may not engage in any conduct, the natural consequence of which is to harass, oppress, or abuse any person in connection with the collection of a debt, without limiting the general application of the foregoing. The following conduct is a violation of this section, right? $1,000. Hey Nick, do me a favor. That's 2,000. Keep that to the on the notes. We got $2,000 we going for from what's this? Bridgecrest Automotive auto loans, right? All right. Right. Let's go to 1692. If y'all looking at these laws, I want you to follow up on them and come and pay attention as I go with it. You know what I'm saying? Look at the laws as I go, because I could tell y'all anything, but when y'all looking at it for face value, then you can understand that this is really, really real. The power of the capacity, right? Violation 3, 15 USC 1692D. It's the same law, but section 5. Let's see what section 5 states. It says, this is funny as hell. Causing a telephone to ring or engaging in any person causing a telephone to ring or engaging any person in telephone conversation repeatedly or continuously with intent to annoy, abuse, or harass any person at the called number. That's another $1,000. What we up now, Nick? What we up? Three racks? All right,
Yep.
boom. Next violation. 15 USC 1692E. Let's go to section E. Truth in Lending Act, false or misleading representation. Now, mind you, Congress put all of these laws here, so they know these. They know that this works. It works to the person who's operating in the capacity of a consumer and not a citizen. So that's how you differentiate yourself from a slave and a natural person. These are the two capacities, if you really want to get down to it, that we're dealing with here. You're dealing with a slave and a natural person, right? So as a consumer, the original creditor, because the money is coming from our accounts anyway, so we're the original creditors, we make all of the laws. So let's go to 4, right? Truth in lending, false or misleading representations. The representation or implication that non-payment of any debt will result in the arrest or imprisonment of any person or the seizure, garnishment, attachment, or sale of any property or wages, or any property or wages. When they say, oh, we're gonna garnish your check if you don't pay us. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna garnish your check, right? Any property or wages of any person unless such action is lawful and the debt collection or creditor intends to take such action, right? That's another $1,000 you violated. You told me if I don't pay, you're gonna repossess my car, right? Violation. Boom, seize my property. Violation, $1,000. Let's go to violation 5. These is all the violations just off of one act, one law. This is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Tonight, we're not gonna have enough time to get into the violations of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, because that's a whole nother act in itself. That's gonna take a whole nother hour to go through all of those violations, right? So let's go to violation 5. What's this? Okay.
No.
Violation 5. 15 USC, write this down, 15 USC 1692E, section 10, right? Subsection 10. It says, the use of any false representation or deceptive means to collect or attempt to collect any debt or to obtain information concerning a consumer. So if they try to call your mother, right? They try to call your brother. Somebody co-sign for your whip, right? They try to call a co-signer. That's another violation. That's a $1,000 fine. So we leaving money out on the table, bro. As debt collectors, we got to come back at these niggas' heads and collect our bread, because this is what they doing to us. They violating our rights as a consumer. It's all about the power of the capacity. If you're in the capacity of a consumer, you could go get your bread. But if you're going to be a citizen, you're going to be asked out and you're going to be a slave, right? All right, let's move on to the next violation. How much we up now, Nick? How many racks? 5 on these, 5 racks on these niggas. All right, let's go. Violation 6, 15 USC 1692 JA, furnishing certain deceptive forms, right? That's A. Furnishing certain deceptive forms. I don't even gotta read that if you smart enough to understand what that means. I'm gonna read the title again. I'm gonna read it for y'all, Nick. Mute your screen, Nick. I'm gonna read it for y'all, but if you smart enough to understand that title, then you on this Zoom call right now. Listen to the title of the 6th violation, 15 USC 1692 JA, furnishing certain deceptive forms. I'll read A, right? It is unlawful to design, compel, and furnish any form knowing that such form would be used to create the false belief in a consumer. Now they say false belief because, mind you, they don't tell us that security interests secure all obligations. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that everything you purchase is already paid for from your consumer identification number, right? We are the original creditors. How can you collect the debt from the original creditor? All right, so let's say A, 15 USC 1692 JA says, it is unlawful to design, compel, and furnish any form knowing that such form will be used to create the false belief in a consumer that a person other than a creditor or such consumer is participating in the collection of or in an attempt to collect a debt such consumer allegedly owes such creditor. Allegedly is the key word in this law right here. Listen to the rest of the law, right? Allegedly owes such creditor, when in fact such person is not so participating. Come on. That's 6 bands we up on them already. We not participating. We not, as a consumer, I'm not participating with you. No, I don't agree that you collect these debts that are already paid for. That's like we getting jerked. I'm not gonna sit here and let these niggas jerk me. You know what I mean? And I hope y'all don't. I hope y'all do the same, because that's a real crazy feeling if you got to pay back somebody for something that you already got paid for, right? That you paid for already. All right, let's go to B of 15 USC 1692 JA. Let's do B. Right? It says any person who violates this section shall be liable to the same extent and in the same manner as a debt collector is liable under section 1692K of the title for failure to comply with the provision of this subchapter. That's another 1,000. Boom. Right? Let's jump right into y'all need me to break that down for y'all in layman's terms. Any person who violates the section shall be liable to the same extent and in the same manner as a debt collector is liable. Somebody got to mute their screen. That's all right. So the only thing that means is that, you know, they failure to comply with the subsections, and you could charge them again for that. That's another $1,000, right? All right, let's go to violation 7 or violation 8. This is 8. USC 15 USC 1692 6F, right? It states concerns a debt. Anybody that's trying to collect a debt that concerns a debt which was not in default at the time it was obtained by such person. So pretty much the debt can't be in default when I obtained it because of the simple fact that it's already paid for. So it's not even, it can't be a debt at all. So 15 USC 1692 6F gives us the right to sue them for that as well. That's another violation. Concerns a debt which was not in default at the time it was obtained by such person. Now, what we do, ladies and gentlemen, I have the Money Magnet Credit Consultant course, right? Today, for everybody in this live, these templates, affidavit of facts are attached in my course. All the Money Magnet family members that need these documents, I will email them to you. If you have a car note you want to get out of and you want to collect money, you could get the title. You could also motor vehicle. You could get out of a driver's license. You don't have to pay them anything. Actually, anybody who collects a debt from you, especially the credit bureaus. Oh my God, they've moved so crazy. I just want to get, what time is it? We got a little bit of time here. I just want to real quick, let me get into the FCRA. This is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? I just want to give you one quick law from there, right? Because they move so fugazi. I just sued them last week. I sent out an invoice for 54 bands, right? When I went to get my my cars to put on Toro, I got, y'all know I got 4 cars, whatever. One of them is a total loss from the flood, so I got 3 now. But when I went to go get them, these car dealerships hit me with like mad hard inquiries, right? And the whole time I've been trying to get these hard inquiries off of my own credit, and they still not letting me get them off. And that really, honestly, right? I lost out on a chance to get a mortgage because of hard inquiries. So when in the law, when it says all damages, any damages, guess what? That was a rental property that I applied for, and y'all denied me because of my hard inquiries. Now, my remedies for that is I include that I was estimated to make $200,000 off of that deal that I got denied for, right? Because of hard inquiries. Guess what? They got to pay me that bread. I just send them an invoice. I had 18 hard inquiries on each credit bureau. I think TransUnion, I had like 40, right? I send them an invoice for $56,000. TransUnion, I send them an invoice for $18,000, and Experian, I send them an invoice for $18,000 for reporting unauthorized hard inquiries, because the law in the FCRA states that, hold on, let me see the exact law. So y'all know, and if y'all want to do your own research, I'm with you 100%, because that's how I am. I be off that same shit. But I want y'all to look up, write this down real quick. I want y'all to look up what I want y'all to look up. Look up Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution of the United States, right? Even in that law alone, it states that all debts can only be paid in gold and silver. If all debts, and these laws didn't change, they didn't amend these laws and say money, they didn't say paper dollars. No, this law is still there. It says all debts can only be paid in gold and silver. So you collecting a debt telling me that I owe you some money, you fugazi. I'm not sending you shit. Matter of fact, I'm violating you, and I'm suing you for violating my consumer rights. All right. Hold on one second. It was one law that I wanted y'all to look up. Hey, baby girl, you're supposed to be asleep. Come here. Oh my, you don't got me clothes on. Go get in the bed. Why I can't find public records on increase. All right, come here. Look up 15 USC 1681, right? We'll look that up real quick. Let's go 15 USC 1681. It's so crazy, y'all. Like I've been leaving so much, all of these years of me doing credit repair, I done been leaving mad bread on the table, man. I should have been suing these niggas long time ago. Long time ago. Why is it not coming up? Incorporated by, hold on, y'all. Let me go right here. Hold on.
Coming up in Google.
Huh?
It's coming up in Google.
Can you read it for me, brother, please? What does it say?
Hold on. You want to chat? It's 15 US code 1681. Congressional. Hold on. Gotta move it.
Congressional findings.
Congressional findings and statement of purpose.
Can you read that?
It says, yes, sir. Accuracy and fairness of credit reporting. Hold on, that's commercial. It says the Congress makes the following findings. 1, the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting.
Hold on,
Inaccurate-
hold on, real quick. The banking system is dependent on fair and accurate credit reportings. So now you're not reporting accurately. You reporting, first of all, as a consumer, we have the right to privacy, right? And that's in the FCRA as well. The right to privacy as a consumer, that means that these corporations, these bureaus have to contact us before they post any information about the consumer on their sites. They have to contact us and we have to give them written or verbal authorization to report anything. So that's another violation on their behalf. And every violation is $1,000, people. We got to start getting our remedies from these niggas, bro, because they make it hard for us to do certain things. You apply for credit, they hit you with hard inquiries. But guess what? That's my right to privacy. How you gonna tell me that you're gonna let everybody know what the fuck I'm applying for? You violating my rights as a consumer, and I'm taxing you. I'm getting my bread from you. We're not playing with these collection agencies or credit bureaus no more. All right, go ahead, finish, brother. My bad. I can't hear you, bro.
My fault.
All right.
It says inaccurate credit reports directly impair the efficiency of the banking system, and unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence, which is essential to the continued functionality of the banking system.
All right. Hold
Let me
on.
keep going.
Yeah, keep going, please.
Number 2, an elaborate mechanism has been developed for investigating and
That's
evaluating the credit.
That's
Huh?
the credit bureaus. Go ahead.
Yeah, what did? Come on, meeting. Yeah, sorry about that. An elaborate mechanism has been developed for investigating and evaluating the credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character, and general reputation of consumers. 3, consumer reporting agencies have assumed a vital role in assembling and evaluating consumer credit and other information on consumers.
All right, now four is the most important one, people, that we want to know right here. This is how we really could dispute anything on our credit reports. Any single thing in this one law right here. Go ahead, now let's read it.
4, there is a need to ensure that consumer reporting agencies exercise their grave responsibilities with fairness, impartiality, and the respect for the consumer's right to privacy.
The respect for the consumer's right to privacy. Come on. Listen, today only for everybody, available for everybody in this Zoom class. You could get the affidavit of fact templates. I got the invoice templates for you. I got all the consumer laws you need, all of the codes you need, all of the violations that they under. It's over 23 violations that I could find just looking at these 2 laws alone. So that's if you relate to all 23 of those, you could be suing them for 23 racks in the next week, right? So today only, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it available for the credit